It's time for NuWellness TV with Dr. Lee. Join your host, the accomplished Dr. Cherilyn Lee, as she welcomes the leading experts in health and well-being as they explore the advancements in natural health, physical fitness, nutrition, integrative medicine, and self-discovery.
Welcome, everyone, to another show, NuWellness TV with Dr. Lee, and I have some fabulous ladies here. I mean, beyond fabulous, internationally known, and I am just so grateful that they're here in the audience, and we're live. Thank you so much. I have the only phenomenal Miss Robbie Motter. Thank you so much, Robbie, for being here. Thank you. She is phenomenal. This is someone you want to know, because she has changed my life, and I am so grateful. And then I have Micaela. I love your name, Micaela.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. You're just wonderful, and the work that you're doing and being such an inspirational person is phenomenal. So thank you both for being here. We're going to kind of just jump right in, because both of you, especially Miss Robbie Motter, have very extensive bios. And so instead of going through, I'm going to highlight some of it, because your journeys have been where it has affected so many women and brought women to such a level that my life has changed in the years I've met you. It's totally changed to the point that I could just feel it in my heart. My heart just vibrates with love when I think of Robbie Motter. And I'm not just saying this, because we're on the air. It's so true. And this is one reason why I wanted you on the show, so I could publicly let people know how I admire you for being the woman you are. You're a woman, a lady, motivational person, writer, author, TV and producer, host, radio host. I mean, you do everything. And if people, I get so tired of people saying, I can't do this, I can't do that because of my age. This lady, if she want to tell her age, she can. She does it all.
81.
81 years old. Can you believe this?
Wow.
She does everything.
Amazing.
And the most important we're going to talk about later is nafe and my relationship with you and nafe. But kind of want to jump in a little bit with you, a little bit more, and then we're going to go to our second guest. So, just tell our audience a little bit more about you. Who you are in starting as a child, and kind of bring it up to speed a little bit.
Well, I don't really remember much of my childhood. As you know, I grew up in foster homes and children's homes, and I was on my own at 15. So I really don't have much recollection of my childhood, other than I remember once when I was toddling, I had a German Shepherd named Sandy. And somehow I must have been an adventurer then, because she would get me by my diaper so I didn't cross the street.
Oh my
and
goodness.
then I remember my first Holy Communion. And other than that, and then I remember one other incident when I graduated 6th grade. I was the only one with no parents there. But other than that, I don't remember. And your past has nothing to do with your future. You're totally in charge of your journey.
Yes.
And I think your past makes you stronger.
It does. It does. It kind of reminds me of the book that I have written before I was born, which shows a lot of my past, and it made me so much stronger to where I am today. And I'm so grateful. But just think of who you are now and all the women and people that you work with based on your own past. So you're a prime example showing how your past has nothing to do with your future.
Well, my passion is helping women.
Yes.
And I have a gift in that I can see in women what they can accomplish. And because many times I'll push them to do something, and then they'll come back after they've accomplished it, and they'll say, how did you know I could do that?
Yes.
I said, I just knew.
Yes.
Now you can even reach higher.
Yes, yes. And you did this with me, my book, written before I was born. You saw a lot of things in me years ago. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm just too nervous. I don't want to stand in front of people. And we're going to talk about what nafe is all about in a few minutes. And I start doing more because of, you said, go for it. Just do it. And I love the ask. If you don't ask, you don't receive. It's all in the power of asking, and I'm so glad you say that all
Well,
the time.
I think the biggest thing with women is women are we were raised to be helpers. And I have been on a mission for the last 8 years to get women to sit down and decide what it is they really want and to ask. It is such a faster way to get to where they're going. It may be that they need to meet a certain person, or maybe they need a certain skill. When they ask, they can be, they can be put in touch with that person right away, and the journey can be so much faster. I mean, I have so many stories of women from my network who have started to ask where it's happened, and it's so exciting.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And now that you mentioned network, we have to tell people now, what is that network? And what does the NAFE stand for?
Well, NAFE was formed 45 years ago in New York, and it is called the National Association of Female Executives. Well, we all know that 45 years ago, we were all executives. Today, a lot of us are entrepreneurs. So I always say to the women, if you're an entrepreneur, that E on the end is for you as well. Because I used to get calls, I'm not an executive, can I belong? And I said, absolutely. Number one, you have to care about helping women make a difference.
Yes.
You have to, we're more like I think NAFE is very different than any other organization. I think it's like a movement. I think it's like a sisterhood where we come together and we care about each other.
Yes, we do.
And, I can remember one story, just a quick one, where I remember calling you when one of our members had a stroke, and you gave me some very good advice because she had no money and no insurance. And we were able to, and then one of our other members came through and got her on Medi-Cal, and another member came through and got her in a nursing home. But, I mean, that's the kind of, we do so much. And I love the fact that you are co-director with me of we have 13 networks in Southern California, and you and I run the Marina Del Rey, which we call the South Bay NAFE.
Yes.
That meets at a fabulous yacht club.
Yes.
And last month we had a treat. 2 of the members came that own a yacht, and they invited the speaker to come and speak on the yacht. So,
we had a ball.
Yeah.
And I needed that break.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I need to come next time.
Yeah. You will be there. We meet the first Wednesday of each month.
right.
The first Wednesday of each month from
6
6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Marina Del Rey at the Marina Yacht Club.
It's the Windjammer. It's called the Windjammer because
Exactly.
apparently they have several yacht clubs in.
Yes, they do have several. But the most important you want to do is call Robbie and RSVP, Robbie Motter. There's only one. So when you see her now, you call her. She'll be leaving that information. But NAFE, the National Association for Female Executives, please remember that because every woman should be there. It's amazing how people will show up at the meeting. And I have people I invite, and they say, I didn't have a baseline career. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And after they start listening to the other women in the room, it's like, oh, my goodness. Things start coming in their head. And not only that, Robbie, you're the type person you'll say, I know this person over here. You connect the dots for people with their careers and what they can do and motivate their lives. Just amazing. So I'm telling everyone, if you're not there, you're missing out on a treat for yourself. And you have no excuse. Every Wednesday we're there from 6 to 8 in Marina Del Rey. But there are other locations as well.
If they go to www.wrnafe.com, they'll be able to see where all the other NAFE networks are. I just want to share a quick thing of how magic happens. At my Menifee meeting a month ago, one of my speakers was talking about mentors in her life. And she mentored Forbes Riley, who is an incredible, has sold billions. Yeah. And I thought, so I go to the governor's conference and I have a media pass and I'm at the media table and right behind me is where the speakers are. Forbes Riley is on the stage. So I say to one of my members, I want to meet her. I want to interview her. So she goes in there, and of course, after everybody wants to have the picture, she gives Forbes my card. Forbes comes out of the meeting, comes over to my the media table, gives me a hug. I say to her, "How would you like to be a speaker at next year's NAFE conference?" She said, and I said, "It's in April. I'll have the date in a week." She said, "I would be happy to do that." She'd just get back to me immediately. But who knew that I was going to meet that person? Amazing. And then another person introduced me to Melissa Hall, who I introduced you to, who has 24 million people on her TV show.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's just, that's how it works. And when you meet people that don't want to open doors for you, then they're not people you want in your life.
Exactly.
It's all about them. They have the me attitude.
You know, in the last meeting, the last NAFE meeting, I made a comment that I want to start, you know, stepping more out of my comfort zone and do more public speaking. And in the month of June, I am speaking at the UK.
I also sent you
in New York.
I also sent your name in to go to South Africa, to Johannesburg for a conference.
Oh my goodness!
They asked me who.
And I just received my nomination for the Business Journal.
Right.
Yeah, it came in the email. So I want to say, when you put it out there, and you have people who know what you want to do and what you want to accomplish, and you take a team of people and just really work around that, and you're meditating around that, and you have positive people really pulling together for each other. That's what's important, to have really great positive people pulling together. And you have been a jewel in the things that you do, and hosting your own show. And I just can't believe you took that long drive by yourself. I said, who's coming with you? You said, I'm driving by myself.
Oh, it's all about showing up.
It's showing up.
Because showing up is like a treasure map. You never know what treasure you're going to make, and I'm meeting some new treasures today, so
yes,
I love it.
Yes, and you're meeting wonderful Jarvis over here.
Absolutely.
Who is just an amazing. Once you take a look at this show and all the things he has have placed there, and this is real time. This is not post-production. Jarvis does things real time. He is the guru of production manager.
Now we know who to put people in touch with.
Most definitely.
I remember when I was encouraging you to do a radio show. You said, "Oh, I don't want to do a radio." And look how fabulous your show is and what a following you have. Because I knew you had it in you to be a great radio
I did
host.
not see it. And it was like, no, I'm too nervous. There's people. No. I had so many reasons not to. But you know what? I stepped out.
Yeah.
I stepped out. And this is one reason why I'm speaking this year at the UK on women's health and women's disparity.
You're gonna love this South Africa conference.
Oh, my goodness.
It's in Johannesburg in October.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, Robbie. And these are the things that happen once you become a member and stay connected. Stay connected with the people, because you'll find out you're not the only person maybe going through something at that time. Pick up the phone and call. Hey, maybe my kid needs to be picked up from school. I mean, I'm way across town. I can't get there. Might be a member somewhere nearby, and say, you know what? I remembered you at the meeting. I don't mind picking up your child. Just simple things that can really help you alleviate the stress in your life, because we're inundated right now with so much stress that's happening in our world. But when you have a team of people that are positive around you, just think what opens up. That's why I'm so relaxed today, because Robbie's here, Micaela's here. So it makes it a very wonderful day. And I want to thank you, Robbie. And we're not finished talking, but we're going to move on right down with Micaela.
Yes.
Okay, because Micaela, she does some wonderful things. And I am so excited to have you here. And the wonderful things you're doing is you're a fashion designer for motivational and inspirational clothing.
Yes.
So inspirational clothing, you even have a book that you have written too.
Yes.
Deal with motivational and inspirational. So, and I'm glad we met. So we have two powerful women here. One, Robbie Motter with NAFE, and Micaela with the Holistic Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, they're great.
And people need to join. I'm telling you, you really need to be a member there as well. I was one of the speakers 1 month, and it was really wonderful. The Holistic Chamber of Commerce. So, Micaela, tell people a little bit about yourself, and why did you start this business in apparel?
Well, so like you said, I'm an inspirational fashion designer turned intuitive mindset and life coach. So
Yes.
I work with women really to help them dial down their inner critic so that they can live from their more empowered higher self.
Wonderful.
And I use positive messaging. You and I have had many talks about affirmations and
Yes.
about really mastering your inner conversation so that you can ask, right? I love what you were saying at the beginning of the show, because a lot of women, they have all these thoughts and ideas in their head that they cannot ask, or they're afraid to ask.
They don't know who to ask.
They
don't
but I
know who.
think, before even that, it's an inner conversation.
It is. It really is.
And I know that because I used to be like that. And it wasn't until, I really did the inner work and was able to master my inner conversation, right, my mindset, where then I did start asking. And miracles happen when you ask. Miracles happen when you set an intention. Miracles happen when you say affirmation. I love your button. I am so grateful that I am a magnet for miracles.
Yes, and that's how I end every show.
And Dr. Lee wears that every single time I see her everywhere. And she and I meet unexpectedly at events all the time. She's always wearing that affirmation pin. And I love that. And so, that's basically, the work that I do.
Right. And I want to say, too, that, I am adding your clothing line to my clinic because I have so many. Unfortunately, it was to the point that I would receive a call every week of someone who was diagnosed with cancer. Now it's every day. This is one reason why I've been between 3 hospitals within the last 2 days. And I'm just grateful that I do what I need to do for myself. I wouldn't be sitting in this chair today and getting proper sleep, rest, hydration, and doing what I need to do. But when you have positive things to say, I have a young lady right now that really have to wear. I'm going to consult with you on what T-shirt she needs to wear.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's 18 and she's beautiful, and she just don't see it herself.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when you're young, and I went through an issue with a skin problem myself, you just don't see that. All you see, a pimple on your face at that age can seem like, it's your whole face instead of one little area on your face. Yeah. So
the negative gets kind of exploded. It gets
magnified.
Highlighted,
it's so magnified. And so for the cancer patients too, and I don't use the word cancer, we just say abnormal cells.
Right.
You have some abnormal cells. We're not in denial, that you're going to work with. And wherever you are in your life, whether you want to do chemo, radiation, or whatever it is you want to do, I just support you. I am there to support you through your journey. But to wear something positive, it helps.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law, who had to have surgery one day, she kept my button on. And she just said, I am a magnet for miracles. And all the doctors and the people came in the room, and by the time she had her surgery, they said, we couldn't find anything. You know, so keeping that in mind, your mind is very powerful.
It is.
And they did the studies, even holding a cup of water, how they did the studies showing that holding the cup of water, how it changed the structure of the water. So imagine wearing something on your body, that's positive, what that's going to do for you, what it does for your inner soul, because sometimes you forget. I have my button on, and sometimes I can have a busy day, and somebody said, oh, you're so grateful you're a magnet for miracles. Is that true? I said, yes, I survived 2 comas. And they said, well, I guess you are a magnet for miracles.
Yeah, well, that's why, I'm wearing one of my shirts. It says, I live in my truth today, So, it's just a reminder.
Did you bring me one?
I did not, but
I have to ask that.
Actually, you know what?
Okay.
I do have some in my car, so we'll have to go out there. But yes, I'm so grateful that you and I are gonna partner on that, because
most definitely.
I actually came back about a month ago from a cancer center down in Mexico. Where I'm going to be working, doing inner work and life coaching for the patients, because it's you've got to do the physical healing, but if you don't do the mental healing and the emotional healing, it's not as powerful.
And that's what we do at NuWellness Healthcare. And I tell people when they call me and say, well, I have this problem. Number one, I want to know when they call and say, I have these abnormal cells, do you want to live? Now, I used to ask, do you want to live? Now, the first question is, when did you decide you wanted to die? Because cancer, something goes through the mind. A situation happens. It could be a divorce, a loss, and something that hits you briefly and you say, I'm just tired. I just can't take this anymore. And I had a patient who said that 2 weeks ago. He said, I'm tired. The next day he was gone.
Really?
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
He said, I'm tired. And he meant that. I'm tired of being here. I'm just tired of going through this. I'm tired of living. He didn't say I'm tired of living, but when you keep saying that, I know, because that was my first coma. I had gone through a divorce. And this is why I started picking up and learning things that actually was from myself. But if you ask a person, do they want to live? And if they hesitate, I had people hesitate. You shouldn't have to hesitate if
No,
you want to
you
live.
no.
That's like, yes,
Yeah.
I want to live. That's something bold that you would say.
Yeah. Well, we're affirming
Yes.
24 hours a day,
Yes.
right? And as human beings, we have an average of 57,000 thoughts a day.
Wow.
And because we're animals, right, we are ruled by our limbic brain, by that side of us that activates the flight or fight response, that is the survival, keeps us in survival. It is an effort and an exercise to get out of that. And so you have to affirm, since we do affirm basically 24 hours a day, and
Yes.
most of it is negative, right? Of those 57,000 thoughts, most of them are negative because that's just part of our humanity. It's
Yes,
part
that's
of
our makeup.
It's our makeup. It's part of
Yes.
the animal side in us, right? So if you, though, know, being a rational being, that you can make that choice, why not choose to affirm positive?
Exactly.
Right? And so that's what the work is about. That's what
this is a simple exercise. I don't mean to cut you off. That I give my patients, because we're human, and I tell them, if you wake up in the morning and just start thinking of gratitude. I'm grateful I woke up.
Right.
I'm grateful I'm in a bed. I'm grateful my head is on a pillow.
I'm
If
grateful
you
I have a
sleep
roof over my head.
I'm grateful I have a roof over my head.
Food in the
I'm
fridge.
grateful. By the time you go through the whole series of being grateful, you don't
You
have
feel
time
good.
to think. You don't have time
Yeah.
to think of anything negative.
No.
I
You
know.
really
I
don't.
always say I'm grateful I'm 2-year cancer survivor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's such a
That's
blessing.
amazing.
What
Yeah.
a blessing. And I want you to tell your story with that, but because yours is really a really phenomenal story. Do you mind sharing a little bit
Well,
about it?
one of the things there was no cancer in my family. My family, most of them everybody died of strokes. So I never thought that I would get cancer. But I have a phenomenal doctor who doesn't believe in just giving you a mammogram. She believes that you must get a mammogram and an ultrasound. And my mammogram showed nothing. It was the ultrasound that showed it. And it's interesting because my cancer was caused because I make too much estrogen and hormones.
Of course.
And yet I never took any hormone pills, and I had a hysterectomy at 35.
Oh, wow.
But one of the things I learned from it, I asked, you always say to God, okay, what am I supposed to learn from this? And I learned that because I communicate with so many women, that it was a message for me to communicate with women to get their tests, go to you and take the tests that you have as well.
Yes.
I've done it.
Yes. Thank you so much, Micaela.
And
Thank you.
4 of them came back and found out that they did have cancer and thanked me for it. But I also learned, everybody wants to give you their whatever they went through, and I think everybody has to go through their own journey.
They do.
Because
They do.
when I had a breast removed, I ran a board meeting 2 days later, and I probably would have been out driving the first day, but my daughter was there and she wouldn't allow me to drive. So I didn't allow her to
Can't
come
keep
back.
you in bed. Can't keep you in bed.
I did
No.
not allow her to come back for the other 9 surgeries.
And look at you now.
Yeah.
And I tell people, to see that this is what's important, people to see someone survive. And they think because I went through this and I went through surgery, my life is over. Your life is just beginning. It's just beginning. Get up and start moving around. Don't just lie there and woe is me. And now I had a breast removed and think
It's
you're
only a
less than a
breast.
woman,
Well,
No,
again,
not at
you
all.
can choose to be a victim of your circumstances,
Yes, you
right?
can.
Or you can choose to empower yourself and use the circumstance as a learning lesson and then take
Most
forward
definitely.
movement, right?
I wish I'd had your shirts when I had mine. I would have worn them everywhere I went.
Yes. Or my button.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that, it's so important that we support each other. Stay away from negative people all the time, especially when you're going through something like that. Negative people can really kind of pull you down.
Yeah.
So abnormal cells, listen, I'm on a wellness diet or I'm on a wellness program. I don't even like the word diet. I'm just on a wellness program. Why are you eating this and why do you leave this out? Well, I want to stay healthy. This is what works for me. It may not work for you. Maybe, you're having donuts every day and doing whatever. Maybe it works for you, but it doesn't work for me. So
Yeah.
we have to know what works for our body. And while we're here, too, I just want to let people know, you can go to lifeextension.com. Lifeextension.com. I'm going to say this every show because you do not have to have a doctor's prescription to order your lab results.
Oh, wow.
I didn't
You
know
can
that.
go right online and order whatever tests. You want to find out if you're estrogen dominant. You want to know what's going on with your liver, your kidney, your complete blood count, mole. You want to know if mole has been, affected by mole. You can go lifeextension.com. They have hundreds of tests that they do. And right now they even have a wonderful discount.
Wow.
So I want to say that you don't have to have a prescription. Go right to lifeextension.com. Go to lab, order your lab like you're ordering supplements almost, and they even have a practitioner if you don't understand what am I getting, why do I need this. It's all outlined right there on the website as to what you need it for, because alkaline phosphatase, those things. I tell everyone there's certain lab tests you should know, and that is your C-reactive protein, your homeocysteine. Those are some inflammation markers. Know what's going on in your CBC. You can order those tests yourself, very inexpensive, that can save your life. Lifeextension.com. Make sure you order the inflammation panel so you know what's going on. They have the thyroid panel. They have everything there. But some doctors just order your TSH. You want to know the whole panel. You want to know what's going on with the complete thyroid. So it's important. And again, when we look at emotion and thyroid, we have so many people with thyroid, we have suppressed what we need to express vocally.
Right.
And where does it hit? It hits the thyroid.
Right.
Now, that's the emotional component. And then there's the other with the mercury in the mouth and dental mercury and all these other things, hair dyes, perms. A lot of stuff can affect the thyroid. So just knowing the emotional component, but do your tests. Know yourself. They send you a kit, and based on your zip code, they send you to the closest lab to have your lab drawn. And with less than 5 days or so, you have back your results.
Wow.
So you can call us at NuWellness Healthcare. We can analyze it for you under functional medicine. It's called Functional Lab Studies. And call us at 310-419-4300. And we can give you this full lab book based on those panels. Because they have a female panel. I mean, if I did it through my lab, it would have been $900.
Wow.
You know how much it is? $199.
Well,
$199, female panel.
Wow.
So, know your vitamin D3 level. Anything under 60, you have problems with dementia, cancer, diabetes, all these problems when your vitamin D, D3 hydroxy is low. So you want to make sure you know those numbers. Yourself, your children, please know their levels, So like I said, the tests are there. Read through it, take your time, order them, know what's going on with yourself. So I just had to add that because a lot of times we think we need to go to the doctors. The other thing is my C-reactive protein, the CRT testing for breast screening. So powerful. You can go on the website and take a look at that. And Doris Mosley is my spokesperson for that because we found hers early. And so she really talks about it. You talked about a stroke. So we have Marla Gibbs, who is my spokesperson for women and strokes, which I'm going to call her today. But just wonderful people. So each one teach one. And I like to be at any event, just call me. We do this free stroke screening, which is so important, really important. So we want to keep that going. So again, Micaela, I just want to go back again to talk to you about what it is. What would you like our listeners, we still have time to go, but what would you like our listeners to kind of walk away with? I want you to really look at them there in that camera and tell them from your heart, what do you want them to know?
Well, everything's already within you. You have the answers, and you just get to make a choice. It's a choice for more life, more love, more of everything. So just know that, it's possible, and you can ask, you can manifest, you can, send intentions, and you've got it.
Now, how do you work with people on relationships as it relates?
Everything I believe everything starts with your own relationship with yourself. So
Yes.
that's basically, how I work. I start with relationship with yourself. So, self-love.
I had to ask you that.
Yeah,
Yes.
self-forgiveness, self-compassion, bringing that. And the work with the inner critic, that's basically what that is, right? Because the inner critic is that part of ourselves.
So you're
that's
looking at the
constantly-
audience now. I want you to tell the audience that.
Constantly,
Yes.
chatting at us, right? It's
Yes.
it's that mind chatter, that monkey mind that's constantly convincing us otherwise or self-sabotaging or having us feel insecure. So, any relationship, whether it's romantic, family, business, it all starts with you. It all starts within.
So I want you to look into
that
their eyes.
is-
Good.
Yeah, that is the work. It's never ending, and we're constantly growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying, right? If you don't grow, you're basically on your way out. So it's a constant work, but it's amazing work. I love in your intro, Dr. Lee, where you say it's that inner journey. It's all of the things. Your show is about everything, and as well as that personal journey. And I think that is the one part that people kind of forget or put to a side, right?
Yeah.
Because it's that more intangible thing. It's like, how do you measure that? But without it, the emotional component, the emotional release and healing is just as important. So
Yes, it is.
it all starts with you, and just keep doing the work. Start doing the work. You can find people like Dr. Lee, Robbie, myself that support women in that way.
Wonderful.
Empowering them and building their strength and their self-confidence to
Yes.
keep going.
So, Robbie, you have so many stories. That's why I left you kind of for last here. Not so much last, but looking into the eyes of a person, if you're looking into their eyes. I know you're looking into mine because you have talked to me on so many occasions, but I want you to look right into the eyes of that person and tell them from your heart what they need to do as women, empowerment and self-healing, because a lot of it is self-healing when you go within.
Well, I think a lot of times women come up with great ideas, and they'll tell their best friend or they'll tell the member of their family, and that person will say to them, "Oh, that's a dumb idea," or "It's been tried before." I don't believe there are any dumb ideas. I believe it's all a matter of timing. Something may not work today, but tomorrow is the right time or the right person that opens that door. And don't be afraid. First off, you need to sit down and realize, what is it you really want to do? I've gone to meetings where people will, I always have the girls stand up and say who they are, but most importantly, what is it that they need and want. But I remember in the beginning, 8 years ago when I started this, people would say, well, anybody's my client. Well, anybody isn't your client. If you understand who your best clients are, you want to really study them. Where do they go? What do they read? What do they want? And remember, just because you're in love with your service or product doesn't mean they are. So you have to ask some questions, and you have to listen to find out what it is they need. And then you can come in and say, well, I can help you because this is what I'm doing, which fits into their need. And once you start doing that, it'll open so many more doors for you. It's not a canned presentation for everybody. You need to know who your client is and who your customer is, and you tailor it to meet their needs. It's not your needs, it's their needs.
That was so powerful. And actually, I'm dealing with some people right now that what you just discussed. And I knew when I put that out, the universe is going to put in you exactly what needs to be stated. And that's exactly what I have some people going through right now. So that was so powerful and so profound. And I just thank you so much for sharing that. So one last thing, if you would look into the camera again, you're looking into their eyes, and what would you want some thoughts for them to still have? That was powerful, and I thank you for that.
Well, I think so. Like Dr. D said, I'm able to get so many opportunities, which I send out to all our members. And a lot of them they say, "Oh, I'm going to do it," but then they don't do it. And then the people who do it come back and they're saying, "Oh, I did it, and it was this, and it was wonderful, and I opened doors, and I met people." and then the person said, "Oh, I should have done it." Well, you've got to stop that should have. You've got to step out of the box. You've got to make scary chances, because you're never going to grow if you don't do that. You've got to stretch. It's just like everybody needs a mentor, and today you might need a mentor on this topic. Then you grow in that topic. Then you reach for a higher mentor. And it's okay to ask people for help. They want to help. But just because you say who you are or what you do, they're not going to come and say, "Oh, I can help you." You need to be very, very clear on what it is you want and need. Then look at the people that are experts in that field and ask them. It was just like I said, I didn't know Forbes Riley from Adam, but I heard what a powerful woman she was, and I knew that my members would get it would be wonderful to have her as a speaker next year for our NAFE conference in April. And I did the same thing with Melissa Hall. And I asked her, and she said yes as well. Mm-hmm. So there I am on my way for a year from now with 2 fabulous speakers, and Dr. Lee's going to be one of our speakers next year.
I'm just finding that out. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Robbie. I'm so excited. But I was one of those people who didn't show up, because I was so nervous when you would ask me. And I didn't want to tell you how nervous I was in the beginning, because we go back years. But, you didn't stop. And I'm so happy you didn't stop asking me, because I was definitely one of those people who didn't want to show up because I was too nervous.
It's all about timing.
Yes.
When you knew, it was just like one of my friends kept saying she was going to write a book. And I said, "All right, when are you writing that book?" And every week I called her, and now she's written 3 books. So sometimes you need an accountability partner to keep you on track.
Yes.
Because we tend to put the things that we're scared of doing away and do other things, and then we don't get to those.
Yeah, we procrastinate.
Yeah.
That's that inner conversation,
right, exactly.
right? That gives you all the excuses of why you shouldn't do something, or shouldn't take the step, or shouldn't,
But they find when they do take that step,
and it's so amazing.
Yeah, why was I nervous?
Right.
It wasn't
And
what I thought it was going to be.
You know what? I don't want to cut you ladies off. I know we have to head into our next segment in a few minutes. But keep in mind, we're talking to the wonderful audience, because we are live. And we want to let those people know that we're looking at them, like I had to keep remembering myself, that we're live and not having a conversation just with each other, because it's so important that we bring them in. Mm-hmm. We bring in people, because that's the only reason why I'm taking the time to, be a host of a show, because my prayer is to make a difference in this world. We're born. I was born in, I won't say, but most people know anyway. What the heck, in 1952, and then that dash in between is my important point of my life. It's that dash in between. I'm still alive, so I don't have to worry about the other. But it's that dash. What type of difference am I going to make with that dash? And I feel that everybody should live their eulogy. So if you live in your eulogy, nobody has to stand there and read one when you're gone.
That's right.
So because you live it from day to day. So that's what I try to do. So I want to thank both of you for being a guest today. Robbie, you're just amazing. And I thank God for you. And Micaela, we're going to do a lot of business together, because I love your inspirational apparel that you have for the clients.
Thank you.
That I'm going to add to my clients.
Yes,
because they come in all sizes, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All sizes, colors,
messages,
long sleeve, short sleeve,
tanks.
Yeah.
Everything.
So it's just the tops, not pants, right? Just tops.
Yeah, just tops. I do have a bodysuit, which is a full jumpsuit.
Okay.
It's my Choose Love message.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that one's...
Yeah, you can go jogging in it and let people say, okay, I'm out here working out,
Yeah.
working out the pounds.
Yeah.
So I want to thank both of you. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart.
You.
All 4 chambers of my heart, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Since there are 4 chambers. Yeah. I want to thank you so much for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you for
having
having
us.
So now that I bring in my co-host for Dining Out Healthy with Dr. Lee and Marie. Good morning, Maria.
So exciting to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. We had a great time at the restaurants
This
there.
had to be the feast of all feasts.
Oh, my goodness.
Let me tell you.
We looked like little Miss Piggies.
We went all out. Let me just tell you. We went to Urban Plates this last Thursday.
Yes.
A suggestion of Dr. Lee's up in Playa Vista, which is like a whole city amongst a city in itself. Let me tell you, it's like a whole world up there. It's like you don't even need to leave when you live there. So we went to check out this place, which they make all their meals, from scratch. And I found it interesting. A lot of these places we've been going to, it's kind of like stand in line and you find your place to sit, which is kind of like a farm and family style where everyone gets to sit together. You share a table, and everyone was eyeballing us because we had an array of food. I mean, we tried pretty much everything they had on the menu. I feel that we did.
We did. Once we sampled, we didn't eat it all.
Well, we didn't. We didn't. I take it home. I do.
Yes.
I do. We can't. But we had amazing side dishes, which I'm not sure what's on the screen. This is our salmon salad that we had that was poached salmon, which was delicious, a choice of Dr. Lee's. Thank you for that one. We had an Asian Chinese chicken salad that we also shared. And what I really liked what they had braised stews, which not too many places, instead of a soup, they do like a stew. And they had a delicious one, which we shared, which was roasted rooted vegetables. Which
my goodness, it was delicious.
Oh my gosh, the sauce in itself on a bed of mashed potatoes, which we did cheat a little bit, but it was scrumptious. And you have a choice of either having it solo with rice, potatoes, or cabbage. And we just did the potatoes. We also tried the Moroccan braised chicken, which was mouth-watering. We also had our dessert, as we just throw in there, which was vegan.
Yes.
Vegan cheesecake. And what I love about this menu that they have is it's coded on the bottom. And a lot of places don't do that. It's a little color-coded, which says it's either gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, vegetarian. So you have an option where instead of asking the server or asking what is in this and how this, and I really like that they had that coding on their menu.
And even across the menu, they'll tell you it's grass-fed from beginning to end. So those who are still eating meat, their beef or and they'll tell you, well, if you want it barbecue, then there's gluten in the barbecue.
It's very detailed.
It's very, very detailed.
It's probably the most detailed restaurant we've been to as far as what they're putting in it. So if you have allergies, everything is there.
Everything is there, which is really wonderful. But it was so tasty. And I'm now sending a lot of my patients there only because it's such a nice variety.
Yes.
And they have a lot of vegetables. They have the carrots. You can tell them a little about that. But
the roasted carrots.
You prepare a lot of that yourself.
I do. Yeah. I do. But I like to try everybody else's little recipe. I get to critique it a little bit.
Maria is a chef in her own right. She's a wonderful chef.
Yeah.
And prepare food. Actually, I have a job for you. We'll talk when we finish.
Oh, great.
Yes. Someone who needs your service. But I just want to say that the restaurant was great. It's a great place to check out for the family. Actually, it was the reason why I was there because my daughters had taken me there for Mother's Day.
That's right.
Yeah, so it wasn't and it wasn't real crowded. It wasn't super crowded. It was really nice.
And the ambiance
is
very warm. You feel like you're somewhere else. I just love how when you walk in these places, you just feel like you're not in LA. You've gone to like a resort or somewhere, and you have all this amazing ambiance and food and people, and it's just a really warm feeling. So I think that's important when you're dining out, is also in the environment that you're in and where you're bringing, because it's not
how you enjoy your food.
Yes.
And some of the drinks they had there too, not alcohol, non-alcoholic,
right,
were really, really tasty too.
Yes, they have a lot of elixirs and a lot of agua frescas, their homemade waters, which are really nice.
Yes. So I want to thank you so much for taking the time. Well, we always have a blast when we go to these restaurants and do our dining out healthy. So
it's always a surprise where we're going. I love that. I love it.
It's always a surprise. And you'll be able to visit the website, Dining Out Healthy with Dr. Lee and Marie.com, and you'll see all the restaurants listed there after this week, and all the guests and the people that we've had on the show on Dining Out Healthy. So I'm just really, really grateful that we had an opportunity. And to keep in mind, the food is not overcooked.
Right.
And they have a lot of soups, because sometimes I had a patient go there this past week because he was having his stomach was kind of queasy, and he said, I just want something light. After he had the tomato basil soup, his stomach felt great. He needed something light. And that was light and it was tasty. We didn't have to worry about all the chemicals. I didn't have to worry about what he was putting in his food, which is really in his body, which was really important. So, what we eat has a lot to do, but enjoying it and try to enjoy food with a person, or if you go by yourself, just, enjoy what you're eating.
Absolutely.
Because it has a lot to do with how it's going to nourish your body as you're eating it. So she and I have a great time. Marie and I have a great time every time we go to her.
We do. We have so much fun.
We have a wonderful time. So I just want to thank you so much for always being such a wonderful person as we dine out healthy.
Thank you. Yes.
Pretty soon we're going to show dining in healthy. I don't do that much cooking. Marie does.
We'll be doing that really soon. This
Very
summer,
soon.
for sure. With
Yes.
all the seasons, everything's coming in. Into
Yes.
all the produce. So I'm really excited about that.
Wonderful. So thank you so much, Marie, for co-hosting Dining Out Healthy. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd like to just say thank everyone for tuning in today and join us every Wednesday live, or visit our YouTube channel, NuWellness TV with Dr. Lee on our YouTube channel. Please visit that if you happen to miss. Please share this with your friends, family. Share this with young people, young girls who really don't have a vision. Bring them to the meetings. I know Robbie doesn't mind them coming to the meetings. NAFE, remember, if you're in the Marina or South Bay, Santa Monica, we meet every Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month. As far as the other days, you can go to the website, and you want to tell them quickly what the website is?
It's wrnafe.com.
wrnafe.com.
And that's NAFE.
And that's NAFE, the National Association for Female Executives. And then for the ones, you don't have to be a holistic person to join the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. They can contact Micaela. Micaela, you want to give your address, phone number?
Well, the address for I'm the co-president of the Santa Monica chapter of the Holistic Chamber of Commerce. So the website for that is www.holisticchamberofcommerce.com/Santa Monica.
Okay.
And then they can connect with me and my co-president and come check out one of our meetings. But like you said, you don't have to be in holistic, just in the business of of helping people live better. That's basically what our motto is.
Wonderful. So I want to tell everyone, repeat after me, as I always in my show. And so, but take this in, because the I am, we know how powerful the I am is. I am so grateful that I am a magnet for miracles. Now give yourself a hug. Nobody has to be there to hug you. Give yourself a warm hug today, tonight, anytime you're watching this, and love yourself on purpose. Have a blessed day.
Join us every Wednesday live at 11 a.m. for NuWellness TV with Dr. Lee. Remember, healthy mind, healthy body.